the portfolio rubric guidance for second grade standard to Nbt A3. Students read and write numbers to 1000 using standard form, word form, and expanded form. When assessing for levels 0 through 5, the teacher is assessing the student's ability to read and write three-digit numbers in standard form, word form, and expanded form. This assessment has two parts. In the first part, the teacher will show the student a three-digit number and the student will read the number. The teacher gives the student 10 different numbers to read. For the second part, the teacher says 10 different three-digit numbers, and then the student writes the number. The student will need to write the number in three different forms: A, standard form, B, word form, and C, expanded form. The student will need to correctly write all three forms for the number for it to be counted as correct. Under suggested tasks for levels 0 through 5, there are suggested ways that the teacher may assess the two parts. In example 1, the teacher may use flashcards or a sheet with the numbers listed. For part 2, it gives an example of the teacher saying 534. And then it gives examples of what the answers the student should write. For A, that is an example of the student writing in standard form. For B, that is an example of the student writing in word form. And for C, that is an example of the student writing the number in expanded form. Again, the student must write all three forms correctly in order for that number to be counted as correct. When assessing for levels 6 and 7, the teacher is assessing the student's ability to orally explain why the standard form and expanded form of a number are equivalent. When assessing 6 and 7, the teacher must include the level 5 assessment. You will use the numbers from the level 5 assessment to assess level 6 and 7. And level 6 and 7 are oral responses. Under the suggested task for level 6 and 7, it suggests that after the student completes the level 5 assessment, the teacher then asks the student why the standard form is equivalent to the expanded form. For an example, the student would say the number 534 has 5 hundreds, 3 tens, and 4 ones. For levels 0 through 5, there are 3 pieces of evidence required: a video recording of the oral components, a writing product for the written components, and an answer key for the written components. The answer key can be uploaded to the context narrative or uploaded with the student work. For levels 6 and 7, you must include evidence from level 5 assessment and a video recording of the student's responses to the task. After you have assessed the student work, then you may score the student work using the rubric provided. The student work receives a level 0 if the student is unable to read any of the three-digit numbers in the first part and they are unable to write any of the three-digit numbers in the second part. The student work receives a level 1 if the student is able to read at least 3 of the three-digit numbers in the first part and they are able to write at least 3 of the 3-digit numbers in standard form, word form, and in expanded form in the second part. So keep in mind, for the student work to receive a level 1 score, they must do both read 3 of the words and provide 3 forms of the written number in part 2. For the student work to receive a level 2, the student must be able to read at least 5 of the 3-digit numbers in the first part, and the student must be able to write at least 5 of the 3-digit numbers in all 3 forms of the second part. For the student work to receive a level 3, the student is able to read at least 6 of the 3-digit numbers in the first part, and the student is able to write at least 6 of the 3-digit numbers in all 3 forms on the second part. For the student work to receive a level 4, the student is able to read at least 8 of the 3-digit numbers in the first part, and the student is able to write at least 8 of the 3-digit numbers in the 3 different forms for the second part. For for the student work to receive a level 5, the student is able to read all 10 of the 3-digit numbers in the first part, and they are able to write all 10 of the 3-digit numbers in the 3 different forms for the second part. If the student is successful at level 5, then you may assess level 6, and the student will give an oral explanation as to why the standard form and expanded form are equivalent. And if the student is able to give that explanation for at least 5 of the different numbers, then the student work receives a level 6. Again, you are using the numbers from your assessment for level 5 to assess level 6 and 7. The student work receives a level 7 if the student is able to explain why the standard form and expanded form of a number are equivalent for all 10 numbers used for the assessment in level 5. Please upload your level 5 assessment if your students are successful at levels 6 and 7. It must also include your level 5 evidence.